Friends, it's Timon. We're back with one of our favorite YouTubers to make reaction videos to the gym lifting, recruiting, fitness, scare slave himself, JasonBlaha. So, in this video, Blaha says how to build real world strength. Oh, how to build real world strength. Okay.
Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here with JasonBlaha.
And so this is how you build real world strength. Is that it? Okay.
Strength and Fitness, and today I want to chat with you guys and gals a little bit about real world strength, or functional strength as many people like to call it. Sometimes I think it's a funny term, but a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below and drop me a comment, I would appreciate it so much. I would make the argument.
Whoa, is he doing a full block this time? Okay.
That sometimes this gets overhyped.
Well, not entirely. Okay.
It's a little overplayed. I do appreciate where people were coming from with it, though. Essentially, it's taking people away from machines and saying, hey, what sort of movement patterns are actually going to make you strong, like I'll do in the real.
He must have watched my video, the video I made, and laughed at him. He made it up to the garage over there, the car. Now he made it past the garage. Okay. Whatever.
World that might carry over to some type of work, carry over to sports, things like that. That's what they're saying, because all strength is technically functional. I mean,
look, you got to understand, man. The only thing that farmer walks are going to do in this instant for Blaha are recruit motor units. Like, that doesn't make any sense. People go to the gym, they lift because they want to recruit motor units. Then you have to maintain the recruiting of these motor units. In the real world, a motor unit is used for specific things, because your body doesn't want to put on muscle. Do you understand me? It's made not to put on muscle purposefully. It is post-mitotic. Muscles are post-mitotic for a reason. So that's the reason why they do not grow. Muscle cells do not split and increase in number. They do not grow. That's why. You understand me? That's why people will tell you, oh, hyperplasia doesn't exist. Now, hyperplasia itself just means more cells. Hyperplasia, you mean in post-mitotic fibers do not exist? Yes. But when it comes to satellite cells, does hyperplasia exist? Yes, of course, because the first thing before hypertrophy is hyperplasia. It has to happen first before hypertrophy can happen. See what I mean? And hypertrophy is what? When protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown. See what I mean? So if you actually want to visually see that mass, well, you're going to have to outpace protein breakdown. Now that creates a density. Now, overall mass, if you want to look even bigger, you have to chase sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, the non-contractile proteins. You have to add it to it. But the truth is, you're going to look way better looking dense and strong. You're going to be way better and a lot more stronger if you build myofibrillars. You understand me? But this here can cause a stretch on the muscle. So that's why they say hyperplasia. Here's the thing. Muscles are post-mitotic. They do not split and divide just because you're waving a magic wand around. But the test was on a bird where they had it that there was a stretch on the muscle fiber, causing it to create new fibers. You understand me? Instead of just like these contractile proteins. So the way to get this true hyperplasia, like creating more muscle fibers per se, they say you need to do a stretch. Well, it can still happen though in muscle damage. It depends on how vigorous or how much muscle was damaged in that one session. So it's a possibility. It can happen. For sure it can happen, yes. But like, again, it takes a lot of work for that to happen. Again, this in the stretch, it can happen. So that's the reason why a lot of people opt for farmer walks. But where's the stretch happening, really? Think about it. The trap area, the shoulder, and the arm area, your arm area there. Maybe some parts of your back, I don't know. Is there a stretch on your legs? Not necessarily. it's compounded, but there's no stretch on it. So there's no hyperplasia in the legs, but it can happen in that upper part of the body. I don't know. But here's the problem. The stretch is not long enough. It's he's just walking with the weight back and forth. You could literally sit with the weight. You could sit with it and just hold it. You don't have to walk up and down the street. It's not going to do anything for your legs. If anything, you're exhausting yourself using energy. See what I mean? Or you could just stand. You could just stand still, stand static, and hold the weight. See how long you could hold it for. But people have this propensity. They think they need to walk with the weight. Yeah, I mean, if you had to walk somewhere with a weight, yeah, you know what I mean? But you're not walking anywhere. But whatever, man. This isn't. This is equate to real world stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. Whatever.
Let's be realistic here, right? And as much as I might say, machines can be very limited, isolation work can be very limited.
Limited.
If you get really, really strong,
He's just really stupid.
work can be very limited. If you get really, really
Look, Blaha is just really, really stupid. He doesn't know anything about lifting. Absolutely, is really dumb. He never even discovered what builds muscles. At least I discovered it. I discovered it on my own. I don't even need AI. I just use science to prove to people what I said in my old videos in the past on my old channel. I described to them. They were asking me, "Oh, where's your proof that it works like this?" And blah 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 blah. Yeah, my proof: the satellite cells. That's what builds muscles. Hello, muscles are post-mitotic. They do not split and divide because you're waving a magic wand around. It's not so simple to get them. It's not so simple to get them to build more muscle. Of course, there have been tests. They say if you stay in a stretch position for a long enough time, like tie a weight to your arms and walk around with it all day long. See what I mean? I don't know. How long does it take for a muscle to I don't know, hyperplasia itself? If you're tied a weight to your arm, how long does it take? 24 hours, 10 hours, 5, 1 hour? I don't know. It's complicated. Now you can do you could do, like, say for example, like you stand on a brick, right? Your legs in a position where your calves are bent, in a stretch position, your calf muscle. And you watch a movie for, I don't know, an hour and a half, and you just stand like that in a stretch position. Can a hyperplasia? Yeah, most likely, yeah. Hour and a half or something. Okay. So you hold on to some kind of a weight that you can manage to hold on to, right? You can manage to hold on to, not like this goof. You manage to hold on to it for, I don't know, watching a movie for an hour and a half. So you put two weights on each of your arm, right? And you just hold them. That's all. You hold them watching the movie. It doesn't have to be astronomically heavy where you can't hold it for an hour and a half. It has to be heavy enough where you can hold it for an hour and a half. And then as you get more of this muscle, this hyperplasia, right, you'll get stronger. You just increase the weight. Get it? You just sit there and watch movies and increase the weight. That's basically it. Yeah. And it has to last the duration of the movie, hour and a half. Yeah, whatever. Whatever you're doing there. So you don't bore yourself to death. So yeah, it's like your legs. If you sit in a stretch position, right, on your feet, and you watch a movie for an hour and a half, you just stay like that. Or in a bent position for your hamstrings. You stay in a stretch position, sitting on the floor, watching a movie for an hour and a half. Just keep doing that every day. And yeah, definitely, it says in science it can hyperplasia. But I don't know too many people that want to do that.
be strong on machines, for example, right? Let's say you did nothing but hammer strength machines. Are you still going to be stronger than someone who's never trained at all these different activities? I think the answer is yes. Okay,
Are you going to be stronger than any of these people that train for these activities? Well, it's kind of obvious, yeah. You're going to be better at doing those activities because they didn't practice at them. But that doesn't mean they can't be good at them either if they didn't practice at them. Maybe they don't want to. Get it, bro? There's no reason for them to.
You need to be clear that there is a lot of strength that is universal to some extent. So again, I am by no means.
There's no strength, man. There's just your natural strength that you were born with and the muscles that you were born with. That's all. You're doing nothing here. You're recruiting these stupid fucking motor units, okay? And your androgen receptors are widening so they can take in more hormone to maximize this force production.
A purist on this idea. And that's kind of the point I want to make here. I am absolutely not being a purist. I am not saying, oh, only these certain types of patterns are functional. I'm not going to make that claim. I'm not going to make that claim. But what I will say is, if you think in terms of being able to give and push or pull against stuff, or the real world.
Push and pull against stuff, man. My fucking testosterone, dude. If I'm doing some damaging exercises, like exercise-induced muscle damage, and I'm in positive nitrogen balance, man, my hormone, my testosterone is around 1,500. It's through the roof, bro. It's like pushing right through the roof. It's crazy how high I get. You can hear my voice gets really deep and a bunch of stuff. It's not so deep now. I'm still in positive nitrogen balance somewhat, but it's not that deep. It gets deeper when I do exercise-induced muscle damage with a combination of being in positive nitrogen balance. It fucking goes through the roof. That with a combination of amino acids, supplementing with amino acids, being in positive nitrogen balance, and exercise-induced muscle damage once a week. It will fucking stay like that their whole week, bro. Because I've made videos where you can see my voice is so fucking deep when I was doing that previously. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to elevate your hormones to the roof. But this lowers your hormones. This excessive exercising, it lowers your testosterone. That's why he has to compensate with TRT. And he eats slave food diets, which also contribute to estrogens and lowering testosterone at the same time. And he's suffering from malnourishment. That's why he looks sarcopenic.
What really are we talking about? I think we can make a case for any of the 6 movement patterns. I think we can make a case for a loaded carry.
Okay.
You know, and some stuff should be obvious. When we think about functional strength, would it help you in a survival situation? Would it help you in a scuffle? It's just going to help you pick up.
No, it's not. None of this stuff does. Lifting heavy weights weaken your body. They make it dysfunctional in sports. People have it wrong. What makes you functional in sports are contractile proteins. It makes you stronger and more functional in sports. That's why you want to lift once a week, so you could build contractile proteins. What builds it? Satellite cells. Satellite cells build, with the combination of you being in positive nitrogen balance, builds contractile proteins. Get it, man? Yeah. So, what's going to make you functional and faster? Contractile proteins. Now, is lifting a heavy weight, recruiting motor units, and exercising going to make you functional in these other, without building contractile proteins? No, absolutely not. It's not. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying this is just weakening your body. That's all. You're weakening yourself, and you're aging, you're deteriorating yourself, weakening yourself, doing whatever Blaha's doing here, exhausting the shit out of his body.
Stuff and move stuff and make life easier? Are you going to have good bone density and everything? Is it going to improve conditioning overall?
No, it's not. You have to focus on what will give me the most, what do I need to do to get my body to give me the most benefits? Well, what were the benefits of satellite cells? Okay, so you ask yourself these questions. What are the benefits if I get satellite cells and more contractile proteins? What are those benefits? See what I mean? What will they do to me? Okay. Now ask yourself, if I exercise every day like a gym lifting slave in the gym, right, lifting heavy weight, and eating slave food diets, right, and just recruiting motor units, what are the benefits of just recruiting motor units? What are the benefits of that? Will it stay forever? Like, will it stick around if I go away for a long period of time, or will it go away? So here's a question: if I gain contractile proteins, will it just go away? Will it give me strength? Will it make me stronger? Yes. Will it just go away if I leave the gym? No, it won't. Is it permanent, these nuclei? Yes. If you get these nuclei and contractile proteins, they're pretty much permanent. Okay. If I lift and I just recruit motor units, lifting a heavy weight, increasing testosterone and crashing it all the time, What's the benefits of that? If I go away, will it go away? Is it permanent? Is this getting this motor unit stuff permanent? No, absolutely not. Can go away anytime. See, you understand me? So, plus this stuff ages you. Look at his hair; it's falling off his head. This is not unnatural, an unnatural event where his hair came out. This is all unnatural. You should not have lost your hair. No one should lose their hair. It's bullshit. Man, you don't lose your hair. Nature does not allow you to lose your hair unless you did something. You fucking broke the laws of nature. That's why he has such a terrible physique, because he's breaking the laws of nature. He can't create a good physique because he's not building any contractile proteins. They will make your physique better for sure, even if you have a shitty physique or poor genes or whatever he has here. I don't know. If he would exercise-induced muscle damage train, he would go way further. He would move way further ahead. But because he has to entertain you lifting weights in this fucking garage every single day, doing stupid-ass voiceovers because he's so desperate for money, he'll never, ever see the benefits of exercise-induced muscle damage. Also, he's never eaten any natural raw animal products, and he will never know what that's like. Never. To know what that's like to eat his natural diet, and actually his hair possibly growing back and being in a natural state. He's always in an unnatural state. This is an unnatural state. So here's the thing. Exercise-induced muscle damage is something natural that you would do out in nature, because periodically hunting, moving your body around can cause these micro tears. So it goes through a regenerative effect, just like lions and shit. They only run once in a while. They're unaccustomed to this running again. They run, they get this damage, and then they go through a regenerative phase. And they gorged on meat, natural diet. Does he do any of that? No. All of his stuff is artificial. It's fake. This whole lifting every single day and shit. See what I mean? He doesn't mimic anything that would be natural. Get it for building, for whatever, for regeneration and stuff like that. The food is unnatural. The lifting is unnatural. Stupid.
And I think certain movement patterns are going to lend themselves more to this than others. Like, I mean, the obvious one, I started right up at the start of the video. You saw me start with a loaded carry, right? Got like 100 pounds in each hand, walking up and down the sidewalk, gripping it. Like, that one, I think we all universally agree. Something like a loaded carry, I don't care what school of thought you have on.
A loaded carry. Think about apes. What do apes do in nature? They climb stuff, right? They climb up, they climb all day. Because they're using their arms and their body climbing things, that would cause what? Stretches on where? On the muscles, on the myofibulars and stuff. On the muscle fibers, it causes stretches. Lots of stretching. They jump around and climb stuff all day. They do specific climbing too. Just look at them. Why go to a zoo and look at these gorillas when they run around? What do they run around? What do they have there for them? They have nets. They have like these poles and things and everything. So these apes, like, they carry so much body weight, but it's mostly body weight exercises, stretching. Why do you think calisthenics is so popular? Yeah. Now, the problem with calisthenics is a lot of these guys don't understand that muscles hypertrophy through something called when protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown. You need to be in positive nitrogen balance. They still do not understand this concept. Is foreign to people. They just don't get it. Your anabolic steroid is food. What makes you anabolic? When protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown. You are consistently anabolic when that shit outpaces protein breakdown. That has nothing to do with, I need 100 grams or 200 grams of protein. That has nothing to do with that whatsoever. You need to outpace it.
Every single one of us look at that and go, you know what? That's a really good way to train. If I want to bring in all the groceries in one trip, man, that's going to have some high specificity of training.
Man, that's going to have some high specificity of training. Look, if I just get a metal bar, I could do all my exercises on there, but they're all going to be stretching. But here's the thing. I don't exercise. I don't like exercising. I'm not an exercise person. I'm not really. I told one guy, he said to me, what are you doing there on that bar? He goes, you're doing these movements. They're mostly, I said to him, I'm concentrating on the eccentric part of that movement. I told him, that's all I'm really concentrating on. I know there's a concentric there, but it's mostly eccentric, I told him. And I'm concentrating on the stretching of that muscle. I want to cause multiple stretches on the muscle. That's all I need to do. I could do sissy squats on this. I could go forward for my quads on it, dipping, consistently getting stretches. I can pull my back up. I can pull my arms. I can do push-ups on it. I can do a whole bunch of stuff, man. I can lean back and do my shoulders forward, backward, behind the neck. Can do so many things with just a little metal bar, bro. You know what I mean? It was actually like a thing there. It was a metal bar, and it was just like this thing there was hanging there. It was on this property, like this place. And I go, look how many things I could do with this. It's incredible. And they're like, holy shit. I go, yeah. And they're just like body weight exercises. But I told him, the basic thing is to create as many stretches and micro tears in those muscles. Then protein synthesis needs to outpace protein breakdown. That's all. See what I mean? Now, will it work forever? No, because I'd have to do later on. You get adapted, so you'll have to increase the sets or the reps either way to try to eke out more micro damage with body weight exercises. But at some point, it'll just completely adapt. So what do? You get a knapsack and add weight to it in a knapsack. That's all. You know what I mean? You start adding weight to your knapsack, and then you start doing the exercises. But again, it'll adapt at some point because the knapsack you can only put so much in a knapsack. That's when gyms come in, see? So yeah, trying to get deeper, weaker muscle fibers to micro damage, and then you outpacing protein breakdown by building your body.
For that, right? And I mean, really, guys, if we talk about real world strength for us in, civilized first world countries, I must say that's probably the top of our list. I mean, we're not going to be fighting bears with our bare hands. But man,
I don't know that. Maybe I'm going to fight a bear. Here's the thing, though. But you're sure as hell going to feel like a bear. If you build contractile proteins, you're going to feel brutally strong. And I mean brutally fucking strong. You're going to fucking be stronger than these fucking people trying to lift a heavy weight recruiting motor units. You understand me? You're going to be brutally strong building myofibrillar growth. Trust me. I'm not joking. It's something that you're going to have to experience, but you're never going to experience it because none of you are doing that. Get it? You understand me? All of you want to do what's easy and wasting your time like Blaha, lifting this weight repetitively. You just don't realize this is failure. You're looking at yourself in the mirror. This is all of you, like Blaha, lifting this weight in this garage. All the influencers too. That's why it failed them, and then they had to cheat. They had to take steroids to fake it. You understand me? They have to take steroids to fake it because they can't make it doing this stupid lifting. This stupid lifting has nothing to do with exercise-induced muscle damage. It has nothing to do with recruiting motor units either. We're not recruiting motor units or anything like that. We're building contractile proteins. But with more proteins, you get more motor units automatically. It's not something you have to keep recruiting forever, like an asshole, like this asshole.
We might have to carry those groceries all in one trip, so I'm going to say right off the bat.
Oh, I need to carry my groceries for one trip. Man, if you carry your groceries, you're going to fucking carry them anyways, regardless. Who gives a shit? But you're not going to... how much groceries could you carry? Think about it. I like to carry groceries because I think it's a good thing for me to go to the store and carry my groceries home. Okay. You know what I mean? I can't do that. But most people, if they opted, they don't have to do that. They'll take a wagon or they'll take their car. They don't want to lift anything, okay? People don't want to lift jack shit. Do they have to? Is it a necessity? You have to? No. Your body just simply adapts to whatever you're carrying by recruiting more motor units again. Get it? That's the whole idea. If you're carrying shopping, it's going to recruit motor units.
In terms of your ability to function in today's real world, man.
Just because you carried shopping, it's not going to say, oh, we need to put on muscle because he's carrying his shopping home. Fuck.
To carry is king because that's going to let you get all the groceries in one trip. And that might be for many people the most arduous task and heroic and Herculean task they undertake all
This guy's really dumb.
week.
Whatever.
You know, and I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek, but I'm also being dead serious. I mean, realistically, I mean, how many of the dudes, suburb dads out there, come on, guys, how many of you really place a lot of your manhood in that ability to bring all the groceries in one trip? I mean, I am being serious to some extent. I mean, we can think of that as funny, but there's a degree of truth to it.
What do you mean by carrying all the groceries in one trip? On your back, on your head and stuff? You only have 2 arms, you dumbass. But yeah, you could carry whatever you could manage. People carry what they can manage. People don't carry what they can't manage. Blaha sounds like he wants you to carry what you can't manage. What a dummy, man. This is stupid. Whatever.
You know what? If you wanted to be really good at bringing all the groceries in one trip, man, a loaded carry like that builds your grit, builds all your ability to pick it up, carry.
You can only carry groceries that you can manage carrying home. You wouldn't carry any more than that. That's be stupid. You look like a clown in the street. Oh, let me carry as much as I can. Look like an asshole walking down the street with shopping bags. Yeah, okay.
And hold it under load. It's going to give you good conditioning. It's going to get you in shape. It's good stuff, man.
Yeah. Whatever.
It's good stuff. I'm gonna put that right up at the top of the list.
Man,
But
look at Blaha. How far did he make it down the street carrying those 2 little shitty weights? This time he went past the second house, right? Where the car was parked. He went a little bit further and he came back. So can Blaha make it with shopping home? No, absolutely not, because look how far he made it. And the fucking shopping store is probably, who knows, blocks and blocks and blocks away. Probably 15 minutes away. Maybe a 20-minute walk. 15-minute walk. Let's say 15. Let's say it's a 15-minute walk to the store and a 15-minute walk back. You think he could make it? I don't think so.
I think we can put any standing exercise or anything that moves your body through space. Like particularly so I like my bench. I like my incline bench. We could argue they don't have the greatest functional strength. I think they would for punching. So if we're going to talk a lot of sports, yes. But outside of, say, the ability to push something like that, and how much of that could be handled with overhead pressing. I mean, what are your big ones then?
Like, what is this exactly? I don't understand what he's doing here. What is this a carryover to exactly? What's a carryover to? Where are you going to carry this over to exactly? Lifting boxes in the factory?
Deadlift, squat pattern movements. That's really going to give you the most strength.
Why is Blaha lifting at all? Like, I don't get it. Just for entertainment purposes and voiceovers, is that it? Maybe that's it.
To carry over to stuff, overhead pressing.
And then he goes like this, and he goes with his arms. He flares them out. Is that to make himself look bigger? He must have been watching something on Mutual of Omaha, where he saw these male animals trying to make themselves look bigger. The small ones, they try to flare themselves up because they're intimidated by bigger animals. Because the bigger animals are more dangerous, they can fucking eat and swallow these little animals. Man.
You got to push stuff up over your head.
He's a honey badger. Oh, I know.
Pull-ups, I think.
Blaha is a honey badger when it comes to a lion, right? Lion appears, Blaha's the honey badger. Man, those lions, they could toss that honey badger like it was fucking, like a rag doll. Man, they eat that thing.
Pull-ups are going to count. Like if you got to pull yourself up something, pull yourself up a tree, pull yourself up a...
They're going to be scared of a honey badger that weighs like 30 pounds, right? 40-pound honey badger versus 650-pound lion. Yeah, okay.
Ledge, climb up something, man. Getting strong at pull-ups is real useful.
Yeah, getting strong.
I mean, even if you got to push back up over maybe a dip. So, of course, we could argue rows here also off the floor, but doesn't deadlifts really kind of cover that? But it's still a standing movement, like anything.
Oh, man, look at this guy. Again and again and again. The muscles are post-mitotic. They do not split and divide because you're just throwing weight around. Doesn't work like that, dude.
It's going to build power transfer.
Because if muscles could build like that, everybody would be jacked. And guess what? If you kept lifting like that every time you did something on your job all day long and they kept building and they wouldn't stop building, you'd commit suicide and die. And you wouldn't be able to sustain yourself. So yeah, muscle requires energy.
on the floor is good. But if I were to narrow some of these down, what's really going to be the big ones? Like, what would I really say? Where's the real money? Um, Overhead press or a push press, a squat and a deadlift.
Sure.
Pull-ups have to be in there. And notice I said pull-ups, not even a chin-up. Like, so if you're really looking at where, again, we come over to, might need to pull yourself up something, guys. Like, that's a basic one. Loaded carries are top of the list. How about the sled work? I mean, realistic, if we're going to narrow it down and talk about really, truly functional patterns that are going to carry over, I'm going to go with a sled, a pushing and pulling a sled of some type, which you'll see me do here later. Okay? Right? I'm going to say a loaded carry, definitely. Squats and deadlifts. I mean, deadlift is going to be the common sense, is the ability to move a heavy weight off the floor. The squat's going to give you most of your leg strength, ability to transfer it. Does it have to be a back squat? No, I think any squat pattern works. I think a Zercher squat, a front squat, I think they can all work there. I think they can all work. I think any type of deadlift could really work. So do we even have to do the classic powerlift ones? I think some sort of overhead press, particularly a push press. How about if you clean it? How about a clean and push press?
He's cleaning and push pressing. He's pressing and cleaning. For what purpose exactly? You're not building any muscle there. You're not doing anything. What are you doing there? I know. Blaha's exercising himself. You know what he's doing? He's laboring. That's what he's doing. He's aging himself. That's about it, really.
Some sort of squat.
It's interesting watching. It's fun watching this guy deteriorate himself, eating slave food diet and exercising, which requires a big demand of energy now, right? And then he's still malnourished, which is just accelerated aging. And then there's me. I go down to the buffet and I'm just like eating tons and tons of protein, eating more raw meat, more raw proteins. Yesterday I ate this beautiful New Zealand beef. It was great, raw, and it's just great, bro. Once you start getting used to eating raw, it's like it takes a bit to get used to it because we're not used to it, right? Because we're all brought up as slaves. But once you get out of this slave mentality and stuff, and you start acting like a noble, you start eating like nobles, like the elites. You become elite. See, here's the thing. When you start eating like elite, you become elite, like them. Get it? But if you eat like a slave, then you'll always be a slave. You'll never be an elite. Yeah.
Some sort of deadlifts. So a pull-up, definitely a pull-up. I say those are your
Even my training is intelligent. What's my training based on? Exercise-induced muscle damage. What other training is there to do exactly? Right? What's the purpose of lifting? You want to cause damage so you could go build some muscle, right? That was a goal, right? Or is the goal just to be there, a lifting slave, and be slave to these motor units? Because, I can't build muscle because it's post-methodic. I don't know how to build muscle. It doesn't work for me. So I'm just going to keep activating these motor units, man. I got to maintain these motor units forever.
Big four.
Ever.
Now, could we make the case for a bench press for pushing stuff away from you? I think we can.
Yeah, you
But
can.
man, if you get really good at push pressing and overhead pressing and you can get that downward angle, especially if you get used to pushing it with a sled again, I feel like that's still largely covered. I mean, so what are your most functional patterns really for just real world strength? Those four movements and then some sort of sled and a loaded carry. A sled.
Yeah, that's it. Some sled, loaded carry, yeah. Some push press, yeah. Okay, yeah.
You're a prowler, a loaded carry. Like
Still, people are stuck on these stupid lifting genres, push and press. I got a push day and a press day. Well, you're gonna have a push day and a press day, but in exercise-induced muscle damage, a push day and a press day doesn't work because your push day, if you come back and do a pull day, well, you're pulling those muscles that you pressed the day on the previous day, and guess what? They're adapted. They're protected from getting any damage. It can only happen once on the day. So when you try to do your pull day, they don't really get damaged. And so you have a disproportionate figure after. Some get damaged and grow, and some don't get damaged and grow. And then you split them up again. It just doesn't really work, man. That's why I learned the hard way. It just has to be done in one shot, full body, and carry over to following week. That's why it works so well. Get it? That's why these exercises, they don't work well in building muscle, because muscle is based on muscle damage. It isn't based. Muscles are post-mitotic. It isn't. I'm gonna do a leg day today. I'm gonna do a split routine. I'm gonna do arms today, shoulders tomorrow. No. Muscles are post-mitotic. They do not split and divide and just increase in number just like that because you want them to. The only way muscles grow are through muscle damage. That's why it's activated through the satellite cell. It tells you that in science. It says if you want to build muscles, you got to fucking injure them. And then the satellite cell is activated and it will split, divide, and increase in number and donate its nuclei and a bunch of stuff, okay, and build muscle. But providing protein as outpaced protein breakdown. Yeah.
You get really good at those 6 things. And like I said, the squat can be, I mean, my God, it can be as archer squat if you really want.
Get good at doing those things. Enjoy.
I mean, that's a pretty...
I get good at doing basketball. You see my muscles growing because I'm playing basketball or football? They're not fucking growing, dude. They're not doing anything. They're functional. Muscles are functional, but they're not growing.
Pretty functional.
You're not growing any muscles pushing a sled. You're not growing any muscles exercising your body in the gym, adapted. Not doing anything.
Think about just getting stuff up off the floor and whatever. I mean, we can make a good case for that. This is your...
What's that lady online with the dark hair that's good looking? She's always talking about protein, building protein. That doctor, I forget her name. Dr. Lyons or some shit. I forget her name. With the dark hair, she looks hot or some shit. Tattoos and shit. She's always telling you got to build muscle for longevity. You got to build muscle. You have to have muscle and build muscle. Yeah, but nobody's building any muscle because muscle is post-mitotic. So everything she talks about makes no sense. You understand what I'm trying to explain to you? It happens when muscles get damaged. Then you build some contractile proteins. Yeah, you build some. You know what I mean? A lot of people build some. They call it newbie gain in the beginning because they stop doing that exercise. They stop doing that type of exercise. Exercise-induced muscle damage. And so they come in as a gym lifting slave now. So they're not getting that anymore. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, yeah. So it happens in the beginning, and then some people go away, they get discouraged, they go away, they drop off, and then it kind of goes away. They kind of lose it because there's not really much there. There's not really much there. There's a tiny bit, goes away, something maybe, I don't know. And then they get discouraged, whatever. So they never really build any muscle. It's all bullshit, bro. Get it?
Functional strength. Now, that being said...
Yeah, functional strength, yeah.
Could you just get strong in general, though, and conditioned in general? Sure.
Can you just get strong and conditioned in general? Sure. No, you can't. Well, you can recruit motor units, but you're not going to get strong. You get strong when you build muscle, but you're not building any muscle.
It's all going to have carryover, but if you want this stuff, it's going to probably have the highest specificity to your ability to carry the groceries in one trip, which really is, there's our king of what we're going to ever do day to day is a legendary real world thing is that grocery trip, man.
Listen to what you're building.
I think these will get it done.
Look at this guy. Listen to the differences. Recruiting motor units and building contractile proteins. Which one do you think is better? Recruiting motor unit or building contractile proteins? Which one do you think is harder? Which one do you think is easier? Well, I'm not saying one is harder than the other. You're definitely lifting weight to recruit these motor units. It could be very hard. It could be very tedious, if anything. Here's the thing. It can be very tedious and hard to recruit motor units by lifting the heaviest fucking weight. But in exercise-induced muscle damage, in contractile proteins, well, people will say, well, I have to put in the work to eat now. Well, to build muscle, you need to eat because you're actually building something tangible. Something visual, you can see it. It's called contractile proteins. But motor units does not require you to be in what? Positive nitrogen balance. It doesn't require you to eat anything or do anything. So, yeah, So you get these crazy people, little skinny, small, these small, strong guys, and they lift the heavy weight off the floor and they scream. They go, "Yeah!" You know what I mean? I laugh at these people lifting heavy weight, bro, online. I just watch and observe them. It just makes me laugh because they didn't really build any muscle. They never put in the effort to build anything. It's just wasting their time recruiting motor units. It's not required for you to eat. And then they're like, well, I worked out, so I have to eat, right? They'll eat, but it's just like they eat the wrong food or whatever. And they're just wasting their money by eating. So they start consuming a lot, but it's mostly carbohydrates and some garbage food. And then if they do put on some weight or get fat or put on weight, they think it's attributed to their lifting as has helped them build muscle. Meanwhile, it's all carbohydrate. They're carrying just shit weight. I guess that's it for him. He's just pushing the sled all day now. All right, friends. I'll see you in the next video. That was the most boringest video anyways. That's why I just talked right over it. Just garbage.